What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All Sports Media TV. I am your host, KJ the Great, and we are live talking about a really interesting match that is going down at welterweight in the sport of women's boxing. But before further ado, I want to say protect women's sports, keep men out of women's sports, keep women out of women's sports. Let's just keep it fair on all playing levels, man. Thank you guys. Now let's talk about it. So, Sandy Ryan, the current WBO welterweight champion, will is set to defend her title against former unified featherweight, super featherweight champion Mikaela Mayer. Sandy Ryan is 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 3 wins by way of knockout. She was last in the ring against, excuse me, she was last in the ring against Terry Harper, where she got a stoppage in that fight, or retired in the corner. Stoppage, we'll call it what it is. She got a stoppage in that fight. Prior to that, she had the draw that she had with Jessica McCaskill in 2023, and Marie Pierre House. Yeah, unanimous decision in that fight. So she's been on kind of in her last three. It's an up and then there's a downside to having a draw, but she definitely has been fighting, I would say, pretty well with Jessica McCaskill. That's just the type of type of fight that mixes up just not as well as you would eye-catchingly see. Her opponent, Mikaela Mayer, is 19 wins, 2 losses, no draw, with 5 wins by way of knockout. Now, Mikaela Mayer has had a rough go since fighting Alicia Baumgartner back in 2022. She lost that fight via split decision, and it was close. It was also so close. It was so close that if Mikaela won, it wouldn't have been no argument. There were excuse me. There was really no argument on both sides for me because the fight was so close. I scored it slight edge for Alicia Baumgartner, but any of those rounds could have went either way. It was that close, and there was a time where that was arguably the biggest rematch in women's boxing. But since then, both fighters have moved on. Mikaela Mayer, as I said, she's had a tough go. Just a tough go as far as getting opponents, man. She's had opponents drop out 3 times before a fight and all that type of stuff. She ended up fighting Lucy Wildheart, which was a replacement of a replacement opponent, because she was supposed to fight Christina Lenardatu, but something with her passport she couldn't get. And then, she got that fight with Sylvia Bortart for the WBC interim lightweight title when she moved up in weight, because she was wanting to challenge Katie Taylor, but Katie Taylor had the rematch already set up with Amanda Serrano. And then at 140, Katie Taylor moved up to challenge Chantel Cameron. So pretty much all the titles from 130 to 140 were locked up because Alicia Baumgartner wasn't willing to give that rematch. Katie Taylor did have all the titles at 135, but she moved up. So yeah, there was nothing really for her at those weights. So then she eventually moved up to welterweight to challenge the IBF champion NATASHA Jonas in a fight that I thought she won. I scored it 1 or 2 rounds in Mikaela's favor, and it was just a heartbreaker because a lot of people were like, no, Mikaela Mayer won that fight. And I've talked to people who scored it in Mikaela's favor. It was like, yeah, she won that fight. Now, both of Mikaela's Mayer's losses have come on foreign soil. We're here in the U.S. In England, London, whatever it's called. Y'all like to call it. I don't want to mess it up, but London. We'll just say London. Hey, London. Both her losses have come over there. Now, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh man, those judges they go over there, blah blah blah." Well, she has to do enough to separate herself because both of those losses come in split decisions. So she's doing enough to make the fights close, but not enough to separate herself in those fights. Now, with this fight, with Sandy Ryan being so highly touted as one of the future greats in the sport of women's boxing, she's gonna have to work for this one. She's gonna have to not only work but find ways to separate herself. I think honestly, this could be a good fight to say that okay, this could be a potential make or break fight, seeing as how she's coming off of a loss, going right into another world title fight. So coming off of a loss in a world title fight, going into another loss into a world title fight, uh, that could kind of be not the end of the road, but setting you up for a major, major, major climb back. So this fight is supposed to take place September 27th, which is on the same date as Alicia Baumgartner's ring return. It's going to take place in New York, so that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to watching both fights and seeing both these ladies throw hands. So I want to know from you guys, what do you excuse me, what do you think about this fight? Is it pretty interesting? Is it a good fight? Is it one of those fights where you're kind of like, do you think Sandy Ryan stands a chance at the experience that Mikaela Mayer has, the both Olympic experience and having 21 fights versus 9 fights? What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. Peace.